Our group project was Say Sex Positive. Say Sex Positive. Yeah. The goal of our project was to create awareness on how our language can reinforce sex positive language or sex negative language. We wanted to create this awareness so that people can be more aware that they're using sex negative language and instead change it to sex positive. According to Hurt and Pullenpitt, there are 5 obstacles that affect our sexual language: sex myths, sexual fear, negative beliefs about sex, lack of sex information, privacy, and boundaries. For our project, we went to the Delta Gamma sorority house meeting and presented to over 200 of their members about sex positivity. To start off, when we were talking there, I asked them, the entire room, what does sex mean to them, and like what's the first thought that comes into their head. They all kind of laughed and joked, but we got some good answers from it, and it was really awesome to hear, discussion. It was like our class where we start off slow, but we finally start talking about it with everyone.
We then presented our PowerPoint presentation on sex negative language. Our PowerPoint discussed information from Glickman's article, The Language of Sex Positivity. We talked about how it's one of our most deeply rooted convictions, the belief that sex is inherently bad, and the belief that sexual parts of the body are ugly, dirty, and a source of shame. We cited the sexual unlearning definition from our textbook, that it is a process of unlearning something about sexuality that may have been learned at a very young age.
Most people are unaware that they use sex-negative words, so we created some slides to show how people use sex-negative words when they're angry, when something bad happens, when they're describing sex, and when they talk about a woman who likes sex. For example, when we're angry, we call people cunts, assholes, and dicks. Or if something bad happens, oh, you're fucked, you're screwed, that totally sucks. Or when talking about, getting laid, oh, I banged her last night, oh, I totally hit it, yeah, I'd fuck that. Oh man, that girl's such a slut, she's a whore. Man, her skirt makes her look like a whore and a hoe. That part needs to be cut out. We then discussed the research on sex negativity by Tobin that has found it reinforces victimization, perpetuates gender stereotypes, and creates negative sex role models for young people.
What sex positivity means to me is being comfortable and secure with one's own sexuality. Additionally, it is also sex positive to be accepting of other people's sexuality as well.
We then shifted the presentation to talk about sex positivity, what it is, and how we can be more sex positive. We cited Williams, Pryor, and Wagner's definition to a sex-positive approach. A sex-positive approach means being open, communicative, and accepting of individuals' differences related to sexuality and sexual behavior. After discussing elements of sex positivity, we asked the audience several questions aimed at challenging them to think about their own philosophies of sex.
We then asked for volunteers again, but this time to contribute sex-positive statements for the whiteboard. There was a much greater response with this one, and we were surprised with how much general sex positivity there was among everyone. We were expecting a lot worse of a turnout for sex positive statements compared to sex negative. In the end, though, a lot of people just shouted out statements and were laughing and enjoying themselves.
We ended by providing them with some local resources that support sex positivity. Overall, I think we did a good job in creating awareness about sex negative language. I think we caused the audience to think about their own language around sex, and I also think we encouraged being comfortable and confident when talking about sex.